Hello and welcome to Sands of Signs. This is your message for the solar eclipse Aries and the Mercury retrograde in Aries that is happening right now. So I'm going to be doing a pick a card style of reading, as you can already tell. And I'm going to be using this oracle card deck. We'll be getting just two cards. And with these two cards, you will intuitively know which one to pick, based on whether it resonates for you instantly or instinctively, the imagery, what's written, anything. Trust your intuition, trust what it has to share with you. And instead of two, actually, we're going to be doing three because three have come out, three piles. So let's see what these three piles are. Trust your intuition and you will know which one you're drawn to. We have Capricorn, we've got a goat, and the key word is achieve. With this pile, we have the traditional Rider-Waite deck that we will be using. Okay, the second pile is the 6th house. The 12th house. Some of you must be looking into your 6th and 12th houses. So this is the 12th house with introspection. And with this pile, we will be using my traditional my very well relied on Thought Tarot deck. Just gonna untie it, as we will be introspecting on this energy together, unwrapping this energy together. This space for you to introspect, for you to tap into your instinct, your intuition. And the final pile is 4th house, home. So I'm going to hold that on a little bit longer. The keyword is home. The number is 42. And with this pile, we will be using a deck I bought from Spain. It's called the Tarot de Carlotides. And that will be what we use for clarifying the energy. Okay, so these are the three piles that we have. I will be adding the photo of the piles for you to further choose from and meditate upon. Generally, the pile that is for you will instinctively just resonate for you. And if more than one pile resonates, then trust that maybe there are multiple messages scattered around for you. And I'm so grateful that you guys have stumbled on my channel. And now let's get into it. Okay, starting up, we have pile number 1. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You have Capricorn with achieve, with the number 10. I don't know, I feel like some of you, I got this message that maybe you scored really well in your 10th grade exams. Maybe that's the case. Or maybe you're being called to reflect upon a lot of achievements that you've already made in life. But I want to start with what this eclipse is trying to show you. Okay? So we've got a few tarot cards come out on the shuffle. Got the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, and the 10 of Wands. Okay. I feel like what you've achieved here the central energy is talking about a new opportunity, right? With the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles. With the 10 of Wands, there is a achievement connected with the 10 of Wands. Maybe you've been working really hard on a particular passion project, something that has probably been a side hobby, and something that has maybe not been like you've not been able to give enough time to it in the past. But a lot of the burdens that were put into you taking out time to do this thing are finally paying off with the Ace of Pentacles, as you are starting to achieve a few of the fruits of this labor. And the reason I say few is because there are more to come. But the reason I say few and not all the fruits of the labor is because there is some introspection that needs to be done. And this is resonant with what we saw for pile number 2. So maybe some of you were called to pile number 2. So maybe you can check that out also if that resonates for you. So you get the Hermit card coming through. And what that makes me think is that there's a conflict here of passion and comfort, passion and resourcefulness, and the introspection that you need to do is how to balance that out. How to balance out. Something is up with your resources, I feel. And by resources, I mean people, places, money. Yeah, you got... So there is a certain attachment currently with your resources that is holding you back from a certain passion, because we got the Devil fall right on the resources, and the introspection that you need to do is regarding the passion project. This project could also be a relationship, it could be a person. I do feel like it could be a relationship or a certain contract with another person. And now this Ten of Wands is kind of casually hanging out on the side, and it's making me feel like maybe there are some things that you put on the side and you've been on autopilot on some things. Yeah, I just saw 714. You've been on autopilot on some things, and those things are actually coming in the way of you pursuing these passions and these projects and being able to bring your full passion in what you are trying to achieve. Because, yeah, with the Devil also coming out, there could be someone who is playing nice in your life, but they represent a certain kind of attachment or certain kind of toxic connection. Like they're trying to play nice, but they are kind of watching from far away and kind of just seeing that, oh yeah, you're in my grasp. It's this kind of toxic energy. And that's why this introspection energy is coming out, trying to get you off of a certain unconscious burden, unconscious responsibility that you have taken. Yeah, we get the Five of Pentacles with this burden. It's like lack mindset. It's because your power has been given away. Maybe your power has been given away to an energy that is unconsciously taking material resources from you, taking energetic resources from you. And this is not a good place to be, pile number 1, where either this, I'm seeing like two kinds of people here, okay? One is that is trying to take from you and they are doing it unconsciously. They're trying to take something from you, and this is the burden that you end up carrying because you are also unconscious to this transaction. And the second kind of person that I'm seeing here is one that is not sharing with you. Like they are unconsciously not sharing something with you. What can I get clarity on that? Got the Eight of Cups on that message. Maybe they're not sharing, and yeah, it's the eclipse also over here. Maybe they're not sharing that that they are not fully present with you. Maybe they are not sharing that. I'm hearing you have been replaced. Maybe they're not sharing that. And if they're taking something from you, they're taking your passionate energy. Okay? They're taking your vital force in some way. I feel like this is more of the stronger of the two energies. I feel like it's more of, instead of not giving, I feel like it's a taking energy. They're taking something from you, and that something that they're taking is your vital energy, your passion, your force, the force that is capable to achieve anything and everything. I want to clarify, who is this Queen of Wands presence in your life who is bringing in this passionate energy, who is mirroring this passionate energy? Oh my god, that came out really strong. Like the card just like flew out. And this card is the Chariot. This definitely feels like a more benefic energy. Also, the Hermit, the introspection is leading you actually towards this energy. Maybe this person is already in your life, but think of a woman or a very strong feminine presence, or a presence, maybe a lover, maybe somebody is a stranger, somebody who you met along the way and you just felt a very strong energy about them. Trust that they are a more healthy energy for you than the ones that are trying to take from you, you know? Yeah, because they want to see you shine, they want to see you. Oh my god, yeah, there's a song, right? The Golden Hour. I feel like it's super viral on Reels now, but I feel like they want to see you shine in your golden hour. I just saw 1212. Interesting. Okay, pile number 1. There are some dark forces present with respect to the burdens that you are carrying, but I see a very benefic person, a benefic energy also present in your field, and I think that is where they are more aligning with you on this long-term plan that you have, which is currently something that is being tested out but not yet in full throttle, full action. And you want to be in that full throttle, yeah. Like I'm seeing, this is like Capricorn energy, and I'm seeing the sun, and look at that. The baby is in like full throttle, like let's go, let's get let's get going. Like, you know, we don't need to stop and talk about things, we just need to go. But I think a strong advice here is to slow down and recognize that the person who's riding the chariot is going to come to you and be like, hey, hop on and let's go on this journey, let's go figure out things together. And now we get a healthy Queen of Pentacles come out. Like we had the Queen of Pentacles come out and the energy that was taking and giving, you know, trying to take something from you, that energy. That's when the Queen of Pentacles came out, and now we see a combination like this. You see, both the queens are kind of now co-creating together. Both the and it's so cool because you started with the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands, and you had the Queen of Pentacles and Queen of Wands come out. So definitely this is a realignment of your feminine energies within you or outside of you. Maybe there are two strong presences around you, two strong feminine presences, but more so I feel there is there's a, you know, the feminine energy within you, like the earth part of it, which is the more resourceful part of it, the more transactional part of it, and the more passionate, and the second one is the more passionate part of it. These two are coming into harmony, from the devil to the temperance. They are, and this is happening because the Mercury retrograde is asking you to take a step back on a burden that you're carrying, whether this burden is a relationship, a job, and instead transfer that energy to something that brings you more meditation and focus, more presence in the moment, more grounding, and more stability. And then after this Mercury retrograde ends, which is I think by the 28th of April, if I'm not mistaken, but when it ends, that is when you're going to see a major reconciliation of earth and fire energies, of the passion and the pleasure and the resourcefulness, these energies coming into harmony. Okay, so we are seeing a couple of strong messages come for you. I hope that was coherent, because when I'm talking I'm kind of just letting the ball roll. So I hope that was resonant. I want to ask, with Capricorn coming out, some of you through this process are going to be achieving a new home ground, a new home territory. And this home territory is one where you are actually, that's so good to see. You see the Four of Wands and you see the Fool. It's a home territory from which you can kind of leap off into a lot of experimentation and exploration. And I'm just seeing like that candle is almost out, and I feel like what that represents to me is that this is the last stretch. I just saw 1717 is the last stretch of you burning out, and that remaining fire within you is being directed to creating this new home ground, achieving a new home ground, which actually makes you feel more like the Fool, feel more like free to do what you need to do. Some of you are a little bit sick, I'm hearing, maybe the flu. Pay attention to your dreams in that case. I feel like your dreams are holding a key symbol as to what this sickness is talking about for you. What is this dream? It's a dream. I'm feeling like it could be a dream of literally being on a boat. It doesn't have to be a dream that happened while you're sleeping, but a dream where maybe a boat ride or a passage through water or a little bit of travel could renew a lot of waters for you guys, I was gonna say. I also, when I went to the river today, I saw 3 guys hanging out. So maybe for some of you, spending that kind of time with friends and really observing what are the conversations happening with these friends. I feel like, bringing understanding, having your knowledge that, okay, the unconscious holds certain cues. Go in with that knowledge, spend time with these friends, and it's going to reveal to you insights on how to harmonize that Ace of Wands, Ace of Pentacles energy, how to, what are the emotions that are hiding behind, and how to transmute them and transform them with a lot of strength. Maybe 4 friends. Yeah, I feel like one of these friends is a very key part of your journey, your healing journey. Yeah, I feel like they're gonna bring you some kind of code for your relationships. And by code I mean like some kind of energy. Like they will bring in a certain energy about maybe how they are dealing with certain choices, certain relationships, and that is what will give you clarity. on how to approach something. So that could be coming for you this season. Okay, we've got another energy show up. Some of you are blocking a certain inner child expression because we got the Ace of Cups and the Page of Pentacles crossing. I feel like you need to get more into a playful energy, and right now you're a little bit stuck and a little bit blocked. It's because that playful energy has not is a little blocked, like you need to play with your hands in some way, and that's when you can reawaken a lot of creative potential in you, stuck creative potential in you. Yeah, the sun, which is the representation of the inner child. Just my ears rang a little bit. Yeah, I feel like your inner child, and my head hurts. Maybe some of you have Aries in your chart, but some of your inner childs are feeling a little rejected. I feel like someone rejected you, but I think you, or maybe someone is conspiring against you. I don't know, I'm using that word a little bit heavily, 2121, but I'm seeing like maybe 3 people, maybe those 4 friends I'm talking about. There's 3 people kind of talking, and you are here kind of in the clouds, unaware of something, but that situation is not going on any longer as you are acknowledging your inner child. Yeah, in recognizing yourself in a more abundant position, this disappointment and feeling of aloneness, it won't last very long, because you're already on the path of integrating a certain manipulative energy. I actually saw like a bunch of crows at the river today, and they reminded me of, like, I was thinking, what is like a collection of crows? And a collection of crows is called, I think, a conspiracy. I don't know, I may be wrong, but I remembered that fact. The Hermit comes out again, and I feel like, this next part of your journey, because you are a truly abundant and fulfilled soul, this next part of your journey is going to be parts of it that are going to be a little bit lonely. But as you integrate more and more, there are some really good collaborations coming your way, pile number 1. Yeah, and those will be because you said no to certain things. These beautiful interactions will be orchestrated for you, like, this is divinity, this is divine force bringing in unions, bringing in a match, because you are saying no to certain conspiring energies that say one thing means something else. But yeah, it is definitely unconscious to them. Some of them may be doing it unconsciously, some may be doing it consciously, so take it as it resonates. You need to stay on the middle path though. You're staying in the middle, recognizing the transactions that are taking place on a moment-to-moment basis, being conscious, being aware of them, is the advice for you to understand where are the places where you are giving your energy away and that are preventing you from achieving the highest possible reality for yourself. Okay, Capricorn, that is your message for this solar eclipse and Mercury retrograde. And if you were called to any other piles, you can check them out. Hello, pile number 2. You selected 12th house with introspection, and along with this you have the Thought Tarot deck. Okay, so with introspection, the first thing that I thought of was that maybe there was a pathway that you were operating and moving from, which just that path became redundant. Okay, like you're taking that path again and again, and you're missing all the other tributary of paths. And this is something that you've realized. And with the 12th house, you are cultivating a relationship with those unknown paths in some way. I'm also thinking unknown parts in some way. I feel like this is bringing in a lot of silence for you, or maybe it's calling you to invite more silent spaces in your life, because 12th house is the house of isolation, house of realizing that through isolation, realizing that there is so much more to human experience than what you are just seeing at the moment. Okay, but I feel a very like humbling experience for you has come through in the last couple of days. The first card is death, and I think death is, to be honest, the most humbling experience out of all experiences. The death of maybe a person in your life, the death of a person's presence from your life, your own death. And that's what I mean by you encountering new parts of yourself, new paths that need to be taken. You are first recognizing this could involve, since it's lovers, it could involve a significant other present in your life. It could also, because the lovers is a card of choices. And I feel like as you are now embracing a more intuitive realm, one where all your chakras are lit up and all of their needs are met, then you are going to start valuing choices even more. Like, I feel like if all this time you went with one choice without even thinking about, oh, I don't know if this path is my path, something is changing in that realm, because you've recognized there's a very fundamental interference that is coming through on this path. I want to ask the cards, what is this interference coming in the path of pile 2? I feel like there is someone who's maybe sending in a lot of instructions, or maybe there is someone whose instructions are they're weighing very heavy on you, because you've got the Knight of Swords and the Four of Pentacles, power. And I feel like maybe this person's opinion and this person's intellect is overwhelming to you. Like, they seem to come from a very knowledgeable space, knowing exactly what needs to be done. But there is this part of you that is recognizing that this could be an interference and a power that is like a power that is maybe based on fear mongering, a power that is based on control. With the Four of Pentacles, it's like, I'm thinking of like those gangs in school where they're like, oh, this is my clique, like this is my group of people, and they all operate on a particular ideology. Maybe that ideology is centered on gossip, maybe that ideology is centered on taking jabs at each other, but you all, like, collectively there was some kind of I guess ideology that maybe 4 or 5 people were subscribing to, and now you are recognizing that that path is not for you, that maybe that there is a solitude coming for you. I feel like you're at the beginning of this. Yeah, you got the Hermit come out. Yeah, you're at the beginning of this journey of solitude, and it's revealing to you like a lot of the unconscious ways in which people were communicating with each other, in whether this is familial or it is friendships. I feel more so friendships, or maybe colleagues, but there was some way of communicating that was hiding a lot of, I just saw 510, 555, a lot of unconscious conflicts, and then you were kind of getting also a part of these conflicts unconsciously. And I was seeing the Wheel of Fortune in my mind's eye, and it comes out as well with the Princess of Wands and the Queen of Discs. Okay. I feel like you're taking a stand. You were kind of roaming really freely first, and I feel like this was kind of self-sabotaging in some way, because the shadow of the 12th house, where the light of the 12th house is the ability to meditate and detach from traditional human experience and be able to see a more divine perspective. That's the light. The shadow, on the other hand, is of being in sway of these very same unconscious experiences. And I feel like that's where you were caught for a little while. You could have a strong 12th house, a fire sign 12th house, maybe Aries, Leo, Sag in the 12th house. But yeah, you are taking a stand now, or you're being called to take a stand. This could be with a lover as well. This could be because, yeah, I don't even see the lover's card anymore. I think I put it back. But maybe you are closing a certain chapter when it comes to a certain choice, and you're like, I don't want to make that choice anymore. It's evident to me what darkness it seems to be bringing, and I want to align with a perspective. I'm speaking on your behalf. I want to align with a perspective that is in tune with the unconscious without the unconscious directing the story. Because with the Wheel of Fortune, which I feel is a very significant card for you, I'm gonna move everything else from the table and just keep the Wheel of Fortune and the Hermit, because these are the next two steps of your journey. Because with the Wheel of Fortune, there is a fundamental recognition that there are unknown forces at play, and that is what is being recognized with the 12th house. The first step is to know that there are unknown forces. Okay, I feel like with the Hermit, I don't know, I feel some of you are being drawn to more subjects of the occult, like esoteric knowledge, hermetic knowledge. I feel if you are not aware, but you can check out there's this, it goes by the name Hermes Trismegistus. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'm gonna write that down actually. Hermes is like the messenger god, and is responsible for bringing teachings of the divine unknown realm to the mortal known realm. Okay, because mortal known realm is like, okay, I have a seed, it's gonna become a tree in 10 years, it's gonna give me fruit. That's the mortal realm, and the tree is gonna die like 100 years later. That is mortal life. But there is an immortal life that the Wheel of Fortune has. In the Wheel of Fortune, that's where you're able to tap into that life of kind of these possibilities from the unknown realm, or even recognition that the unknown realm is carrying certain unconscious patterns. Not like you need to fix them in the sense that, oh, this is something that needs to be fixed about you and you are flawed, which some of you could be thinking with the Seven of Cups. I feel like recently, like, got this message which my partner shared with me actually, and it was about things kind of going into the dream realm, and it's because there is something that is not exactly satisfactory about the life that you are in right now, and the life that you are meeting in this moment. And the Seven of Cups is kind of talking about that escapism into another realm. For some of you, this escapism could look like running away from certain things, could look like you being silent in certain spaces when you are wanting to speak. I feel like though silence is a good alternative to just kind of being unconscious and just going with the flow of things, choosing that silence from a complete space, and it's a balance. But with the Seven of Cups, it's important to refrain from any kind of wishful thinking, because with the Fool here, with the Fool in this context, I feel like it's a little bit reckless. Okay, because then you're operating on something that is not there in the present moment with the Seven of Cups, right? It's this wishful thinking. What? Yeah, and then we see the Prince of Cups at the bottom, and that came with the unconscious. then all the communication is going to happen from an unconscious space, because people who are part of that communication are living in a dream. And that maybe this is something that's already happened, where a lot of unconscious ideas and communication and ways of communication came up, and now there is, with the Seven of Wands, the boundary setting, and with the Sun, the final reattunement to actually what brings you bliss. Some of you could have a Sun in the 12th house. With the King of Cups, I also just popping out with the Fool. I feel like you're reinventing the Fool, okay, into the King of Cups. This is water energy, mainly Cancer and Pisces, I'm thinking. Maybe you meet somebody who is a Pisces who, has spent a lot of time in aloneness and then has come out of that aloneness carrying a certain gift for the world. And that gift is the gift of truth. It's the gift of truth that can only be claimed in that aloneness. It cannot be claimed anywhere else. Yeah, you get the Prince of Discs, and I'm again thinking there's some experience that either has happened in the last week or is coming through in the coming weeks, and the experiences of humbling. I just saw 1206, that's all sixes, and it's when you are truly humbled that you can actually serve a purpose that is bigger than you. Because if you are already coming from a space of knowing everything, you are, you won't be able to serve something that is beyond you, that is trying to create something bigger than you. And for that humbling experience is actually, it's what's going to help set the right boundaries for you in order to kind of move forward on your path. So trust that the kind of alone spaces that you are going to be, I'm hearing, gifted with, even though it may not feel like a gift, are really necessary for you to grow into a new being. And you get the Princess of Wands. And now we saw the shadow side of this Princess of Wands kind of come up earlier, right? With the princess kind of symbolizing a more nonchalant attitude of kind of just jumping into anything and being really reckless with time, energy, and resources. And she is fire of earth, and I feel like at this time these two elements are kind of off balance, where fire is will and earth is your resources. Like maybe you are contributing more to fire than to earth. Actually, this is very similar to what came up for pile 1 as well, with slight differences. But now we see the Princess of Wands coming in a positive energy, symbolizing that same thing, the Sun in the 12th house. For some of you, you could have a transiting Sun in the 12th house, but this is kind of like the gift of inquiry, into a deeper meaning behind things. And we started this off by talking about the hidden path. So maybe there's a hidden path that this Mercury retrograde wants to unfold for you. Yeah, you got the Tower, and it can be really unsettling, and you get the Princess of Discs. But it's like you're going to be filled with juvenile, young, youthful energy to put into some project which maybe you have been very stuck on because of these unconscious things that were kind of pulling on your energy. But this Mercury retrograde is going to really break away a lot of these connections, and it's not particularly going to be easy with the Tower, but I feel when you come out of it, you are going to be in a place where you got the match, the Prince and Princess of Wands. You're going to be like, all of you is going to be aligned towards the higher movement. I'm thinking like, okay, higher movement, like how maybe the grand design of things is wanting to move you, divine movement. That's such a interesting phrase. Maybe like you are also realizing through movement, through dancing, how the divine is kind of puppeteering you, and you're seeing, okay, and that is the kind of higher vision that is being asked for you to cultivate at this time, pile 2. Look at the Empress on that message, and I feel like when you surrender to that, it is welcoming in a very divine frequency for you. It's what's going to help you heal a lot of the disappointment that you're feeling. And this disappointment is something that you need to be feeling through and through in your solitude. I just saw all fours, and that's what's going to help you build a more stable grounding, which is rooted in nourishment, rooted in moment to moment nourishment, not something that is delayed, like not some delayed gratification. Because I feel like when we subscribe to instant gratification, we somehow are subscribing to delayed gratification as well in some context. And the 12th house is here to bring you a lot of gifts and insights from this kind of unconscious, automatic way of being. Okay. Yeah, I see fives coming out. Some conflict is going to come through, which is going to change, which is going to help you recognize what is breaking your heart, who is breaking your heart, how they are breaking your heart, and it's going to help you recognize what are your values, and just, turn that heartbreak into what really matters to you, recognizing what really matters to you. And for that, some energies need to be released and brought back to yourself with the 12th house. I think that's it for you, pile number 2. Let me just check with the cards once. At this moment, don't try to focus too much on the building of things. Like, don't try to build too much. If you are finding yourself go back and forth into that mentality of I heard materiality, like if you're constantly like, oh, but what about this thing, I need to shift, I need to move, but what about that thing, these things, how am I going to handle the materiality? I feel like that is something that you do not need to be concerning yourself at the moment with. What you need to be concerning with is more aligned with detachment, of letting go. And with respect to the materiality, at this point it seems to be more so draining your mental energy as compared to bringing you to a more connected space with yourself. Yeah, more so you are here to purify this passionate energy within you, the one that is very often getting themselves caught into certain unconscious conversations, unconscious business, where you are dispelling your energy for like, anything. You're not really concerning yourself with if it is what is emotionally right for you. So yeah, your main message: choose solitude, choose bringing energy back to yourself at this moment, and choose to begin acknowledging certain unconscious patterns that are showing up in terms of the kind of people around you. And as you do that, simply through acknowledgement, you're going to be attracting in a life that is more aligned with that hidden path, Yeah, with the hangman, the hidden path is holding something really, really special. Yeah, and the Two of Swords is like the crossroads. So for you to take this other path, you need to be introspecting on where you are at right now and meet life there. Okay, thank you, pile number 2. If any of the other piles resonated for you, do check it out. Hello, pile number 3. You selected 4th house with home. I'm going to hold that up a little longer. And I remember saying the same thing in the beginning. I feel like maybe the idea of home, maybe the roots that you are coming from, you are returning to them, maybe not physically, but really in your mind's eye, Or maybe you are just wanting to go back home, whatever home means to you, a person, a project, your family. There is a deep desire to go back home on certain things. And along with this card, you selected my Tarot de Carlotides deck from Spain. Okay. So at the bottom of the deck, you have the High Priestess. I feel. I feel like for some of you, you're being guided to your home. You are being divinely guided to your new home or to this home that you want to return to. Maybe for some of you, it's a birthday, your birthday, someone else's birthday, and you're going for that reason. And that is what is pulling you home. But more so, with the Magician coming out in reverse at the bottom of the deck, I'm feeling like maybe you've been like a nomad for very long, like with the Magician in reverse. The Magician is super carefree, has gone here, gone there, and has explored everything and has been super free. And the Magician is number 1 and the High Priestess is number 2. The next step is kind of, connected with connection, where the Magician is more self-spirited, self-indulgent. The High Priestess is the Magician realizing that, oh my god, I am a part of. That was what I felt with the card in the beginning. I'm a part of a web, okay? Like a web, an interconnected web of people, ideas, projects, Magician is thinking that they're alone. High Priestess has realized that, oh my god, we may be in separate bodies, but there is a web that seems to be connecting all of us. And that's what I thought when I saw this kind of web-like structure in this card. But I also thought of this keyword, which is like web of lies. Maybe one of the reasons why, you went off on a magician-like adventure was because there were these web of lies present in a certain connection. Or maybe you were tired of a certain web of lies and you wanted to move away from that. This is for some of you. For some of you, I feel like this recognition of a web is reminding you of home, is reminding you of maybe for some of you, what the work that your dad or your father or your father's father used to do. You are starting to think about the kind of ways in which your ancestors were cultivating a lineage, cultivating lineage resources for their lineage. You're recognizing what really goes into that. And maybe that's where some web of lies is also present, where there was a certain compromise that was made in terms of true connection. But I feel like you re-encountering these home energies, you are doing it from a different place, Pile 3. I feel like it's not coming from that magician, novice, immature kind of energy, but a more mature realization that, okay, people did certain things because they thought that was best for them. They maybe curbed certain instincts and elevated certain other instincts. They didn't truly harmonize and alchemize everything in the right way. But as you have explored this magician, you've recognized, oh, there is a way where all parts of you can be alchemized to create a reality. No part is rejected. No part is rejected. And this is where I feel like you are bringing a particular knowledge, a particular gift, and you are going to change certain ways in which maybe your family or old connections are doing things. Like, you're going to show them a new homeostasis in some way, a new grounding. Or the Wheel of Fortune. Some of you may have a very special connection with animals and kind of seeing how they instinctively lead their life. It's telling you how you instinctively want to lead your life. But with the Wheel of Fortune, yeah, for some of you, we have the King of Pentacles with the Knight of Wands in reverse, okay? And we have both the Queen of Pentacles show up with the Ace of Cups in reverse, and she's also in reverse. And we also felt this energy where maybe since you've been kind of on this lone journey with the Magician, you are here now and you're like, I want to go back home. And what's home? Home is connection. Home is feeling connected to the web of people, projects, ideas, things around you. And this web, this Mercury retrograde is asking you to connect back into that web. I feel like through this web, there is a possibility for someone to show up here who is aligning with a certain part of you that was lost to your family lineage, but that you have been able to integrate through this Magician journey. So you're like, oh, my dad and mom couldn't do certain things, but I'm able to do those things. And now from this empowered space, I feel like you are attracting in a very stable, grounded person. With the Ace of Cups, this is where you have the capacity to form and learn how to form connections and create this home, or even return to home and rekindle a certain connection with an earth sign. I feel like in the past with the Magician, the shadow of the Magician is that the Magician can come out really strong and really self-oriented. And with the Knight of Wands coming in reverse, it's talking about like, in the past maybe you came from a very charging energy, but that is coming to a close. I feel like you are maturing up in terms of recognizing that connections are deeper than that. Connections run deeper than that. You got the Hermit with the Wheel of Fortune. These two cards came for pile 2 as well. So for some of you, even the Tower came for pile 2. Some of you can go check pile 2 with this energy. I won't get into it for this spread. But if you're curious about that energy, which is basically the Hermit, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Tower, check out pile number 2. Maybe some messages are there for you. Again, the Hermit comes out. For others of you, this Hermit is connected with maybe you are learning to use, because we got the King and Queen of Pentacles coming together, maybe through a new connection, you are learning how to use certain resources in a more intuitive way, where maybe these interactions were causing a lot of heartbreak and there was a lot of difficult communication when it came to the handling of resources. I feel like through this Mercury retrograde, there's going to be a more intuitive way in which you can talk about these resources. Because, people always talk about, oh, Mercury retrograde, you can't talk, you can't do anything, you can't make plan, la la la. But what is a retrograde? A retrograde is an energy switching off so that a more dormant, stuck, invisible energy can turn on. And that invisible energy is your intuition. And I feel for some of you, you will learn through this retrograde how to work more intuitively with certain projects and work in a way that is harmonious and I'm thinking transparent, because we get the Lovers in reverse, the Empress in reverse, and the King of Cups upright. Okay, what shadow I see here is the shadow of unable to be transparent, okay? Because you have been so self-directed, you are not able to recognize that some things need to be discussed very transparently, and you are not declaring all choices to the other person, and through this you are really cloaking a lot of what is actually valuable to you. You are hiding behind emotional serenity, like, oh, I'm chill, I'm relaxed. This could be you or someone in your life, but I feel this is more your energy. um, but yeah, I think it's important that you are transparent, not just with the possibilities that you are thinking, but also the emotions connected with it. And I feel that's when you are truly respecting Libra energy. You're truly respecting the balance that, it is two people that are coming into union. Maybe you and an earth sign, two people that are coming into a form of transaction. And this transaction, it needs to be handled intuitively and with transparency. Because if you're trying to get too intellectual about it, yeah, you get the Eight of Swords in reverse, the Tower. If you try to, this is all eights, okay? 888. If you're trying to be too intellectual about it, you're gonna get yourself stuck in another cycle of breaking things down. And I just saw 1212. This is your chance right now to switch the way that you are going to approach this collaboration, this energy. Be clear about all options that are there for you. At this point, recognize the light and shadow of collaboration, because I feel this collaboration is definitely one that is going to heal a lot of aspects of disconnection for you. Yeah, and this connection I'm saying is going to heal that disconnection, and it doesn't even have to be connected with love. It can be connected with material things, it can be connected with thought vibrations, but either way, wherever we are able to heal the energy in any one dimension, as the magician already knows and as you already know, you can shift energy in all places, in your romantic connections, in your familial connections. Everything can shift and move, provided you are transparent about your needs, transparent about the thoughts you are having, and not taking it as a burden, okay? Not taking connection and relationships as a burden, because technically, as you are recognizing, you all belong to a web. Your needs and desires of collaboration are actually in perfect harmony, especially if you're thinking of collaborating with someone. They are in perfect harmony with that other person's energy, and there is a potential where both of you can actually address a lot of burdens that both of you are carrying. I feel like there's an interaction between two people specifically. A third person I feel like is involved, like in and out. Um, yeah, but there's an opportunity here for you to, instead of handling things intellectually, handling them more intuitively, being transparent, um, and removing the burden from any kind of interaction. Because the moment you bring in, recognize that the moment you bring in an energy of burden, an energy of deceit, because I saw the web of lies. So either you, I just saw 1441. You need to split and break out of that energy of conflict, of burden, and instead turn to what is a more harmonious collaborative guidance at this time. Ask yourself, what takes care of their needs and my needs, and instead of building a home on a web of lies, building connection on the web of lies, build it on transparency. Release the burden, because moving from the magician to the high priestess, oh yeah, I forgot, that's where we started this reading, with the high priestess coming out again. You are really recognizing There's a very divine, you see this thread. You see, this is you, this is another person connecting in whatever context, love, like whatever relationships, work, whatever. There's a thread connecting both of you. And this is the entity at the center of the thread, the one that is making sure that both people are getting the best for both of them without any conflict. So the conflict is broken into the ability for two individuals to inhabit a home, a shared home together, in terms of a shared resource, a shared investment, a shared whatever, returning back to home in order to repair connection, repair your idea of connection, and heal the part of you that experiences disconnection. And we get the Queen of Swords in that part and the Seven of Wands. You see how this person is isolated, disconnected, kind of operating on a higher truth alone. It's not the higher truth if it's alone, And with the Queen of Swords, like, I feel like, this is where maybe, being wise with your words, being careful with your words. You're not here to cut people. You're not here to cut cords. Because with home, you are here to actually, you see how many networks are here. You're not here to cut cords. You're here to repair. And look, she's just cut off his head. Sometimes this is a benefic energy, but in the context of your dominant energy being home, I feel maybe for some of you, you are cutting off a person so that your home becomes a more a sanctified space for you. And that's why that is the kind of brutality that has left you alone. But for some of you, it could be that maybe through your words, through intellectualism, you are cutting cords instead of intuitively building cords. But I'm going to get a confirmation on this card, on these cards actually. I just saw the Ace of Wands. For some of you, for some of you, you are breaking off communication with someone. And this is maybe someone who you've known for quite some time. Maybe you are temporarily, I'm thinking, breaking off communication with them. I feel like maybe some of you are breaking off this communication because the person represented a kind of childlike spirit that was not aligned in certain ways, but it's left you feeling alone. It's left you feeling a little bit lonely. Yeah, look, you see the moon and the woman sitting alone on the moon. You're like, okay, I disconnected over there. Now what do I do? Now you move that energy towards artistic things, towards creative ventures. And this doesn't have to be like permanently cutting off someone and, I'm now focusing on artistic ventures. I mean, a healthy detachment, a healthy disconnection can bring you some energy back to yourself, because there are benefits in this is the Magician again, and this time the Magician is upright. There are a lot of gifts to this Magician energy within you, your ability to be fueled by yourself. And so if that energy asks for certain people to be cut off, that is a healthy thing to do. But watch for where you are disconnecting in a very crude and cruel way, and watch for with the Ace of Swords coming out in reverse. Be careful with your words. Don't be wise with what is coming out of your mouth. With the Chariot in reverse, hold back certain things. Don't just let your mouth run. Take into account balance, take into account harmony, take into account that there are two different people involved. But that doesn't need to be a burdensome experience. That's where we bring in the light of the high priestess to the shadow of the magician. But yeah, the magician holds a lot of gifts for you. It holds the codes, it holds the energy for you to evolve into a stronger individual, actually. One that doesn't just rule themselves but rule a whole kingdom. Rule and cultivate the foundations for a new home. Yeah, just watch yourself if you get stuck in any cycles. Those have the potential of coming to an end this Mercury retrograde. So, yeah, that's it, pile number 3. I hope this resonated for you. And now I'm just gonna wrap up the 3 piles. Where is my. Okay. If you guys stayed till here, thank you so much for watching this video. I offer private readings and you will find that in the description below. And yeah, do drop a comment, connect with me, and I'm wishing you much blessings and much care for this coming eclipse and the Mercury retrograde. Alright, take care.